Hey guys, it's been a little bit, but I'm back. Hope that you guys enjoy the video for the game development series that is converting my Scratch game into a Unity game. So anyway guys, what I did for this video is I basically wanted to continue obviously the progression of my game. So first thing I did was I opened all of the screenshot files that I made off camera, and basically what I wanted to do was just cover the player because it was obviously a screenshot, because the way things exported in the final game last video, it didn't look that great. So guess what? I took screenshots and I made it look better. So right now, as you guys can see, I am just in MS Paint and I am fixing up all of the screenshots so I can import them into the game. So as you can see right now, I'm just resizing the world and making it just look a little bit nicer overall. So as you can see, I'm playtesting just a little bit to make sure to see all of my collidable objects with my colliders lined up correctly. And right now, I am just making the player model a transparent object because I don't have that much experience in MS Paint, to be honest, even though it's pretty simple. I used a program called Krita mostly to make art, but since these assets were from scratch, it was obviously a little bit different. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm just making the game look a little bit nicer by changing some of the objects for collidable stuff. So here we go, this is me playing in the world to make sure it looks nice, and it looks pretty good. As you can see, there is some interesting collision, which I will actually fix in the next episode. This is just some basic stuff right now so I can get the base of the game down so I can play it. So yeah, there's our scene with our sprites, and I think it looks pretty good. I think the port of the game is going well, pretty well actually so far. So this is me trying to code, or trying to use the code that I scrapped in the last episode that I said I scrapped. So basically what it does is it uses callable game objects in the code. Very messy and very long. And yeah, I'm gonna write a new custom script later in the video that will help and fix up all of our current issues with level switching right now. So yeah, I am just trying to see if it does work, but as I said in the last episode, I did scrap it. So also, I am recording this audio on December 7th, but anyway, this isn't good. I need to figure something out for the level feature, so let's do that. Time to scrap that old code and write a custom script that should work for the game. But yeah, like I said, guys, I am recording this on December 7th, so as you can see, obviously this footage is from September 30th, so it does take a while to edit, and I've been busy with high school and all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, it's very tedious to edit that code. It's a code from a game I made a little while ago, and it didn't really work out all that well. So yeah, I'm just trying to get it something to work, but clearly it doesn't work that well, so all I did was just kind of scrap it in the end. Time to code the new level manager, quote unquote, obviously, code for the game. So right now I'm going to make a C# script, and I'm going to call it world. As you can see, there's some extra scripts right there because that is from the old scripts that I used. I will organize those later to show which ones I'm actually going to be using in the game. But anyway, what I'm going to do is basically we're just going to start with an empty script like usual in C#. And I'm going to say Unity Engine, using Unity Engine.scene management. Basically what my idea was is when we hit the star to go to the next level, just go to the next scene and have the player in the same spot. And I think that would be a lot like the old game. So I did private void on collision enter 2D, so it would enter 2D when it hits it, and I used the scene manager.loadScene function to get our active scene, and in the build index or the build settings to add by 1. So basically, if the player hits a star, add 1 to the scene, and scene number 2 and onwards will be called every time we hit a star. So now, as you can see, I am organizing that old code like I said I would, because I didn't like how it worked and it didn't work at all. So it basically just made the game less convenient to play, and it was unorganized in our hierarchy for the game, which I always like having a nice organized project. So as you can see right now, after I made that script, I decided, oh, I think I should name and make some new scripts. And the reason I did this was so you just saw when I coded it, to call us a new scene. So this will be basically I'm naming them game 1, game 2, and it's going to go all the way to game 10. So right now I'm just getting the camera settings and basically just making a nice scene for the next level of our game. So I imported that screenshot and I put it in the game. I also changed some of the components on the star to make it work with our new code. So there's our level that I just imported, and there's our player. Just to test some stuff, I wanted to see if the game code worked, so I tested it. So as you can see, the collider for the star works great, but nothing happens. The reason nothing happens is because we haven't loaded our scenes into the build index that we need for the game. So right now, I'm going to apply and remove that old code from our world and make sure to resize everything so it looks correct to the original level and format of the original game. I do this by changing some of the star features just to make it look a lot like the old game. But the collision box is still there, which is good, because we need that to be there in order to detect if we hit it so we can call the next scene. So as you can see, our collision works fine. So now I'm dragging my scenes into the build settings, which will show our scenes in build. So now, when we hit it, it should bring us to the next level, aka next scene. So what I did to do that was I opened our star prefab and made it isTrigger, and I attached our code. And there you go, it works. Now I just need to build upon the system with level design, etc. So as you can see, that works completely fine, which is good. Anyways, let's get some levels from the original game into the port of the game. Time to add colliders and much more, quote unquote, to each level scene that I've made so far. I also added the colliders from the star and to the player so I can let the code work for the other levels, aka scenes. So as you can see, I made a new scene, and now I'm going to import the new screenshot that I made earlier in this video. I add new colliders to the player and make sure everything looks good and it works with the scene. So as you can see right now, I'm just applying the colliders. Everything looks good. I overlay the stuff in the scene to make sure it all fits in the same size, and it won't look weird carrying anything over for the port. I then moved the star around to make sure it would match the original game in its playstyle and how it felt. Here's what I have so far. So as you can see, we got an error, and that's because I haven't loaded that third scene that we made into our build index. So I did that right now. I also changed some of our player settings to make it feel more like the original game, because some things in the Unity scene felt different than what the game was on Scratch, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to feel very similar to the original game, if not exactly the same. So I changed the movement speed, and it almost looks perfect to the original game, if not perfect. So as you can see right here, I'm trying to jump up onto this block like I could in the original game, but look, I can't. So as you can see, the world size for level 3 is a little big. So I'll need to change that and some of the player settings to better suit the original game's port to Unity. But like I said, guys, these videos do take quite a long time to make and edit, so I really hope you guys do enjoy. But in 5 days, I will be uploading again. 4 to 5 days, I would say. But at the end of this video, you'll see I tried to give a good estimate of time, so that will push me to work on the game more and get things out to you guys. As you can see, the level works and looks great. And it feels a lot like the original game, in jump height, player size, etc. So here's what I have so far. As you can see, the player moves fine, and when we hit a star, it'll move us to the next scene, just like in the original game. Boom, perfect. So as you can see, since we don't have a fourth scene, then it doesn't look perfect, but then I then resized the star and some other stuff to fit the scene better in Unity. There, that looks a lot better, and to the original game. As you can see, we keep getting an error, and that, like I said, that's because we don't have a quote-unquote game 4 scene for our next level. But that's alright, we'll add that in the next episode. So here's what I have. I'm really liking how this game looks so far and how it feels. I think it's turning out really good so far for sure. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I made a lot of progress in this video. Sorry that this video took a while to edit, as you can see by the date of recording. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll post another devlog to show the update to the development for this game in 5 days, so make sure to stay tuned. Later, guys. By the way, I got a new monitor, so now all of my game dev videos will look better and be in 1080p. But yeah, see you later, guys. BubberDev, out.